Okay guys, welcome to another fascinating UFO story from the chat room. The camper van that's become the chat room. If you're new to the channel, I'm Mick. I go out film this guys with night vision equipment, trying to get evidence of unexplained things in them skies. And I've started telling people stories. I get that many stories sent to me, hundreds of stories over the years, and I haven't really told them. So obviously, with permission from the people who tell me these stories, I will tell you some of these stories. Absolutely fascinating. It's a cold night, you can see the condensation probably on my breath. Wanted to go out sky watching, forecast to be clear skies, but it's misty. You get a lot of that mist over these moors at Pendle Hill in northern England, but it's supposed to be alright for the next few days, very cold and clear, so I'm sure I won't be able to get out. Anyway, this story, fascinating. Now the lady told me this a couple of years ago. She doesn't want me to name her, so we're going to call her Brenda, just for the sake of it. So Brenda lives in Skipton. She works in York. That's about an hour's drive over some very high remote moorland, well known for UFO sightings in that area. In fact, that's where I had my first UFO sighting I spoke about on the channel in this very van. I'll leave the link in the description. Only a couple of days ago. It's a well known area. And anyway, she lives in Skipton. She works in York. She's a care worker. She works shifts. On this particular evening, and I should say the journey time is an hour. It's always about an hour, quite clear roads over there. So this particular evening, she finished her shift at 10 o'clock in the evening and started her journey back. She'd made back many times. I said it takes an hour. About 20 minutes into the journey, she turned in a corner on one of these dark country roads, them sort where you need your full beam, and in front of her she saw what she thought was a truck or a bus, maybe a crash and gone sideways on the road. She slammed her brakes on, that was her first impression, and skidded right towards it. It stopped in time and this thing just disappeared. She doesn't know whether it just disappeared or it just shot up or what, it disappeared. And thinking back now, she did say that was no bus, that was no truck, that was just my first impression. You know, when you get that first instinct, that first reaction of an impression of what something is, because you know the human brain always tries to liken things to what we know. And it shook her up that much. She pulled up. She couldn't drive for 5 or 10 minutes, but she said that's all it was, 5 or 10 minutes, and then carried on her journey. There was some fascinating things with this. When she got back, she glanced at the clock in the car. Just gone about 11:05, which she thought, yeah, normal time. Went in the house. Her husband was going mad. He was going frantic. In fact, he was quite angry as to why she didn't phone him to tell him, you know, that she was going to be late. Well, she wasn't late as far as she was concerned. She just got out of the car. It was 11:05. When she looked at the clock, it had gone 2 o'clock in the morning. She has no idea how that has happened. She couldn't believe it. And she tried to say the clock must be wrong. The time in the car says 11 o'clock. She looked at her watch. Her watch said 11 o'clock. But no, it definitely was 2 o'clock in the morning. He showed her that. So the clock in the car and her watch, she was in the car, wasn't reading 11 o'clock. What's going on here? This is a very odd story. And to make things worse, it frightened her, or should I shook her up? Yeah, probably frightened her that much. She took a week off work on the 6th. That week turned to 2 weeks, but she was frightened of making this journey again. But she didn't go back. She handed in a notice and swears, thinking back, that this was no truck or bus. It was a huge object right over the road. She didn't know whether it landed on the road. It was hovering, but she didn't have the time to assess that. But she does know her watch and the time in the car was saying 11 o'clock. Well, 11:05. Each of them. Well, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours missing time. She's absolutely no idea to this day. She hasn't been hypnotised or anything like that. She just really wants to forget it, and she doesn't want to use her real name. So there we go, guys. What do you think of that? So many strange stories. It's like the other night when I told that story of the two 8-year-old girls who lived 10 miles apart, didn't know each other. One contacted me, the other contacted me a year or two later. They didn't know each other. I really looked into this, and they both claimed to be abducted the same night. It was the birthdays, that's why they know it was that particular night, 2nd of June. They were both 8 years old. I'll leave a link in the description to that story. That is fascinating. Some very, very weird things going on all over the world, but up over these mirrors, weird places, guys. So if you've got any stories, let me know. I'll tell them on the channel. Leave them in the comments. I'll tell them on the channel. So yeah, cold night. I'm gonna chill in this camper van for a bit. Just want to do a little bit of work in this YouTube channel, get this heater on, and keep warm, guys. You lot take care. Thanks for watching. Please do like the videos and leave a comment. It really helps with algorithms to get these out. And God bless you all. Thanks for watching again. Take care. Speak soon.